What's going on YouTube? Welcome back, it's Yums, and today we're going to jump into a brand new series on the channel called Adjustments for Dummies. In this series, I'm going to take a look at all the coaching adjustments one by one. I'm going to explain exactly what they do. I'm going to break it down so that new players, or maybe people who have been playing the game for a while but don't know what some of this stuff does, can take their game to the next level. Let's jump into it. This week on Adjustments for Dummies, we'll be taking a look at zone drops, a defensive coaching adjustment which can be used to counter the offense's maneuvers. Jumping into it, you're going to want to go ahead and press in on the right stick to bring up the coaching adjustments menu on either console. We're going to want to go ahead and scroll down. Eventually we'll go over all these adjustments, but today we're going to be going over zone drops. So these three adjustments: zone drops flat, zone drops curl flat, and zone drop hooks. The easiest way to explain these is that the zone drops flats relates to your light blue zones. These curl flats relate to your purple and light pink zones. And these hooks relate to your yellow zones. So if we take a look at a play like Cover 3 Sky, we can see that there are 2 hooks and 2 curl flats on the field, as well as 3 deep zones. Now currently in the game, we cannot control the deep blue zones. We cannot change the depth at which they drop. The other zones on the field we can control, meaning normally those purple zones and those yellow zones would go exactly to the spot they are on the play art and play that zone in that location. We now in the game can go to coaching adjustments, pressing on the right stick again. We can go down and we can change our curl flats, which is purples, from default to 15. We might want to do that to say play a corner route that our opponent keeps throwing out there. Go into Cover 3 Sky and I'll go into Z spot. And we can go ahead and run this play. And you can see bagged it. We go back and take a look. Corner that's in a zone on this side drops 15 yards, goes to his zone. He's now playing a purple at 15 yards. The ball is thrown, and he's in a spot to make a play underneath the ball. You can use these to counter your opponent. Now let me go in, show y'all. We have default zone drops over here. Go ahead and use the exact same play. The exact same play Z spot. This time with default drops. And you can see how that was open this time. Did not get back. We go back and take a look. You can see that this guy in the purple this time, he plays his purple much shallower. So he's not in a position to make this play at all when this ball comes. He's way too far underneath it, right? We can do all different types of things with this, but in this video, we're just talking adjustments for dummies. We're talking the simplification of this. So I just want to go over the basics. And the basics are that we can counter our opponent by moving these zones. The other main thing that I wanted to go over in this video is what you'll see a lot of pro and competitive players doing, which is switching their blues, their light blues, and their purples. Meaning that they'll actually have, if you look at a play like Tampa 2, they'll have those light blues, instead of play the flat like they're intended, play up back in the field deep and have a purple zone play the flat instead. The reason being, these light blue zones play the sideline better than a purple zone. It's not intended that way, but it is the way that it works best, and it's the way that pro players and competitive players have adopted to defend things. But when you see that, that's why. If you want to adopt that, that's perfectly fine. So like a standard zone drop when we come out in the beginning of a game might be a 20-10, meaning that our purples are going to go to 10 and our light blues are going to go to 20. Now we might change this depending on formation, but like I said, I'm going to keep this simple in this video. So we can just go ahead and slot in 10 and 20, and then from there we want to counter our opponent, like I said, based on the route combos that they're using, based on where they're throwing the ball. Hooks, I generally would leave on default in goal line or short yardage situations, or when the opponent is running the ball. Sometimes I change my hooks. Against certain offenses, you may want to use a hook to counter certain things, but in general, especially when new, I would say leave your hooks on default. So I wanted to go ahead and show you guys what I meant by the curl flats and the flats and switching them. I'm going to go ahead and set up a little bit of a Mabel coverage, which we will go over later. First off, I'm just going to reset the play. You can reset the play anytime you want to clear your zones on the field, your zone drops on the field. So we reset the play, meaning our zones will actually play to the depth that the play art is. Now I'm going to go ahead and put these purples, and when I snap the ball, you can see these purples and blues are going to go to the same spot. So if we go ahead and back this up, we can see that these guys drop the same spot. On this side, they drop to the same spot, which is not very helpful. With our zone drops, we can control that and make it so that the guys on the field actually play different zones, so that we can do something that's called a Mabel coverage. Like I said, we will go over in an advanced tutorial later. So here I have the Mabel coverage I was talking about set up, and you can see that the zones are on top of each other again. This is with the zone drops in effect. So we have the purples playing at 10 yards and the light blue should be playing at 20 yards. Go ahead and snap this ball. So if we go ahead and take a look back at this play, these guys last time ended up dropping directly on top of each other. This time we can see the corner that's in a light blue actually plays back, and the guy who is in a curl flat or a purple plays 10 yards. So again, normally this guy in this play art would be playing here, but our zone drops, we've told him to play back here, and we've told this guy to play here. So again, this can get really complex. We can do a lot of things with this. We can lock down certain sides of the field. As you can see, there's more complex things that we can do with zone drops. Like I mentioned, the Mabel coverage and locking down certain sides of the field. But in this video, I just wanted to touch on the basics of a zone drop, and a zone drop basically being telling a player that's in a zone what depth or what yardage to play their zone at. I hope this helps everyone understand what zone drops do better, how to implement them into their game, and how to become a better player. If you have any questions, slide down into the comments, jump in our Discord, come on over to the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/yums_95. I could be live right now. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you want to see on future episodes of Adjustments for Dummies. See you next time.